All right, it's 4:30. We'll call this May meeting to order. Is that good?
Yep.
All right, do we need to approve the minutes of the
Yeah,
last meeting?
everybody had got a motion from
Second.
Commissioner Glover and a second. Mr. Hogan. All in favor?
He made,
Oh, you may.
oh, I thought you
I
said.
thought you made the motion. I just came in right behind you, bro.
Okay.
All right.
Okay,
Just do it like I said.
okay.
All right, all in favor?
Y'all need to roll call.
Roll call vote.
All right.
That way you know who's all on there.
Okay, so we got Commissioner Bowens here.
Aye.
All right. Bill Moore.
Aye.
All right, we got Bob Hogan
Here.
Bert
Bert.
Glover.
and me. All right. And Joe Ford. And Trey Fan. All right. Everybody. All right. We'll move right into our agenda here and we'll turn that over to Joe.
The only one thing I had on is, and we were able to get Weaver to repair the leaks up there for $8,500. R.T. Herbert of Rackley Roofing was $19,095. So we was able to save 11 grand by letting a local company here do it. So,
That's good, as long as it fixes it and we don't have no problems.
well, it didn't leak yesterday, so
Well, good.
it should have leaked if the leak yesterday.
Good deal.
So,
Good deal.
They guarantee it for one period of time.
2
Yeah.
weeks.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
All right, so we'll move right into Trey.
Several items to go back here in meeting. I gave you a package, both of them in order. At least I've intended to give them to you in order. So the animal control building, everybody was considerably higher than anticipated. We looked into the possibilities of going back out and having it redesigned because we talked to a couple of different parties and had them after the bid. They didn't know the bid amount. We had them look at it and say, what would this budget be on this set of plans? And independently, they both came up with about $750,000. The price we got was $675 when we bid it. So the price we got was a pretty good price for what was put out, but it's still over budget. So we looked at two options. What would it take to get another company to redesign it? And that's the second document you have, Lyle Cook Martin. And you see, if you kept the same amount of footage, which we know we could go down in footage, but if you kept the same amount of footage and layout, they're estimating the building to be about $531,000. Time you put site work on it, gets it to $6, and then by the time you would put the design fee, which is on the second page, nearly $48,000. Well, it put at an estimated total of $644,000, which is only $30,000 than the bid that we received.
From our lowest bid, right?
Lowest,
No, I don't think that's right. Is it? 6 what?
644, what this total would be.
47? Yeah, okay.
674 was the bid. Of course, we can cut down. They're just saying if you were rebidding it with some changes to structural materials and whatnot. So then we went back to CSR, and you can see the letter that Jason Reynolds sent. He's got it in bold, where they reluctantly admit that they do not constrain the design sufficiently to meet the budget nor communicate the likelihood for this chosen design and consequent bid to come in over the currently available funds. So they have proposed in the second paragraph in the bold to redesign it at no additional cost to the county, meeting with me and Kevin and Eric and the mayor, whoever y'all designate, and then go out and rebid it again. And this is what I would recommend option we go with because it costs us absolutely nothing. And they could probably turn out a revised set of plans more quickly than Lyle Cook Martin. We might have bids solicited by August, start late August, early September, if it comes in at a suitable price. So my recommendation would be, if you're going to pursue it again this year, let CSR at no cost redesign with some direction from us.
Well, I think that's what we ought to do, because I think,
All right,
in my
I'll
opinion, that they owe it to us, so.
I move we accept that recommendation.
All right, so we got a motion from Commissioner Glover to accept CSR's offer.
I second, reluctant.
All right, we got a second by
I want to talk about it.
Commissioner Hogan. Any discussion?
Did you answer the question? Or
You
did I
said
beat the
question.
question?
Well, you beat the question.
I don't have the confidence in Jason. I know we're caught between a rock and a hard place. I wish he was not in this transaction whatsoever, even though it's gonna be free. I don't feel comfortable what he's gonna give us is gonna amount to a hill of beans. But I'd just like to go on record that I don't feel good about what he has done to us in the past. And so, free is free, but you're gonna only get what you pay for. And so, I just want to go on record. He may shoot me one day, but and comments closed.
All right, so we got a question being called. Any more discussion at all? All right, so is everybody in favor of this motion right here?
We're gonna vote on it?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so we'll take a vote. All in favor of accepting this from CSR and letting them redo it?
There need to be a roll call.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Bowens,
Yes.
Bill Moore, Bill Moore,
Yes.
okay. Commissioner Hogan,
No,
all right. Commissioner Glover, and I'm an aye. All right, so motion moves
Okay.
4-1.
4-1. All right, move on along.
Okay, item number 3 on the agenda is solid waste. Week or so ago, maybe a couple of weeks, Mayor Vogel, myself, Keith, met out there on site with Todd Walker from K&F Engineering in Clarksville. Corey and them are under duress, leak or pressure from TDEC to get this wall fixed because it's allowing traffic to escape, lay out on the ground from there it's supposed to be in. So he has sent us, the first one in your packet is a proposal to redesign or do a design to replace that wall, 8 foot tall in section, part of the section and 12 foot tall. I thought this was a bargain basement price. It's lump sum for $1,800. I don't see how you can beat that. And that
You gonna
will,
build out of plywood?
this is the design, this is the design budget. He hasn't come up with the construction budget
Usually
yet.
that's a percentage of what the cost is, ain't it?
That's right.
I mean,
That'd be good if this was 10% of it, it'd be $18,000.
What's the name of his company?
K&S Engineering.
Did you get one of these?
No.
I got two somehow in my
Alright,
packet.
It's, I tell you what this company is, if you were ever familiar with Dick Kessinger Engineering in
Yeah.
town,
Yeah.
then Kessinger and Shepherd,
Mhm.
and now it's
Well, you know,
evolved
I
from
know
that.
Todd.
Mr. Kessinger is no longer around.
Yeah, I know, but I know Todd, you know.
He's,
Yeah, he's
Darryl Walker.
Darryl's son, yeah, he's a school
Good guy.
kid. Yeah, I move we accept the
second.
proposal of $1,800.
All right, so we got a motion to, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, Mr. Bowens,
Aye.
Bill Moore,
Yes.
all right, Commissioner Hogan,
Yes.
Commissioner Glover, and me, so that's 5-0, motion passes.
all right, the second proposal included that, while he was there, we had him walk around and look at some stuff, and if you've been out there, that building's in pretty bad shape. Out where they load the trucks, the trailers, what I would call a rafter, but it's an I-beam structural member literally hanging in the air. They were off the other I-beams that are supposed to hold them up. Brown Cliff Service down there, Steel Service down near the fairgrounds has got that fixed already. But when he went through the building, apparently before my time here, there was a fire out there and some other stuff. He said there are some very concerning elements inside the building. So if you approve this second proposal, he would do a walkthrough out there, make notes on some things he deems or urgently need to be repaired, he would meet with whoever we send to meet with him verbally to go through this. And we can decide then if we want a written report or whatever. He's proposing to do this. You look on your sheet there, on an hourly basis. It does say he would be the one doing it. He is an engineer level 4, which is $120 an hour. I just got this weekend. I've not had a chance to talk to him about how many hours he estimates it, but I can't imagine it. If it was 40 hours, it'd be $4,800. I can't imagine it taking that. I would say 20 hours or less. And I would strongly recommend that we let him do that before a wind or something comes along and gets that and hurts.
All right, I move that, K&H Engineering,
Yes.
be authorized to make a review of, Mr. John Walker being the engineer of the building at Solid Waste, $120, was it $120 an hour?
If you want to put a not to exceed on it or something, that'd be fine.
Probably should.
All right.
It did not say that in the proposal. The
No,
amount
it didn't.
there's no figure there. It is in the other K&S,
Yes.
but this one is not.
Okay.
All right.
Well, let me, then what would be your suggested amount?
I can't imagine it taking 40 hours, which would be $4,800.
Okay.
I mean,
All right, I'd
think it'd
say
be
not
less
to
than-
exceed $5,000.
I second that motion.
All right, so we got a motion by Commissioner Glover and a second by Commissioner Hogan. All in favor? Mr. Bowens? Bill Moore?
Yes.
Commissioner Hogan?
Yes.
Commissioner Glover?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. All right, 5-0, that passes. All right, moving right along.
Item number 4 on your list is this house, existing house over here on the corner of South Brown and 8th Avenue. I solicited proposals. I think I should have brought the names of them, but I forgot to. 6 different environmental firms to what would it cost for them to go over there and evaluate that house and see if there are any hazards. The only one that responded was CSR Engineering. On the 3rd page, their lump sum fee would be $2,250. And I don't know, with all that's going on with the COVID-19 and whatnot, if that's even on the radar to do something with that building this year. But this would let them do an evaluation to see what hazards are in there. Then, of course, you would have to bid to have the house demolished. And then you would also have to solicit, if they find hazards, a company to come in and mitigate the hazards. And then we would also, there'd be additional charges to CSR to handle that if they found some. So it's $2,250 to get started and let you know what's in there, but I wouldn't be surprised if the overall budget costs $15,000 to $20,000, depending on how many hazards they found, to get it demoed and all this work done. So my question, I guess, more to you all, is this project something you still want me to pursue, or are we shelving it at this time?
I think personally, we ought to just shelve it and just back off of it right now. We'll just move forward at a later date. It's not costing us nothing to sit there, so, you know.
I move that we shall.
All right, so if I come up, a motion by Commissioner Glover, to shelve it.
I,
Second.
that motion with comment.
All right. We got a second by Commissioner Moore. All right. All in favor?
Wait a minute. there's
All right, we got discussion, my bad. Okay.
I don't want to see this go away. That building's going to be over there to be taken care of. I like for us to come back and look at it in 6 months after this virus gets out of here. Let us be active on it. Let's see how the budget's running and see what the property taxes and everything's coming in, and then take another look at it. Because I think if it does have asbestos in it, we're going to have to take care of it one way or the other. And so let's just don't shove it in the corner, which I can understand it, but I think we need to take a look at it in 6 months from now.
All right.
And I'd like to amend that motion by having that duration time put in there of 6 months. Take a look at it in 6 months.
All right, so you want to amend it? Want to restate your motion?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay.
I mean, it to represent that.
Okay. So we
Reviewed
want,
in 6 months.
right, so put it in 6 months. We'll reevaluate the situation.
May come up with the same stuff, but doesn't forget it. We are responsible for this county.
We got any more discussion?
Question.
Question being called. All in favor? Bill Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Bowens?
Yes.
Commissioner Glover?
Yes.
Commissioner Hogan?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. Motion moves 5-0.
Okay, agenda item number 5. We talked about this, I guess it was 2 months ago. The mayor and I have talked about it recently. It's the ADA Existing Conditions and Transition Plan. This is what you all, I believe at the last meeting, authorized me to solicit proposals to look at this work. It's supposed to be done by the end of 2016. They extended it to the end of 2019. We had not really done anything on it. We're anticipating $100,000 or more to have this study done and then budget improvements. Mayor and I talked about it and have some ideas, but is this one that's also being shelved? I don't know this for a fact, but I can't imagine anybody from the state or the federal government coming in the middle of this coronavirus crisis and pushing this. But there will be a day similar to that you will have to do something with it. I'm just seeking y'all's direction on, at this time, do I seek any proposals or shelve it for the time being?
I really and truly, my own personal opinion is till we get through all this that's going on, I don't think we're going to,
I'm gonna make a motion, we, review it in 12 months.
Just make it a later date and we can always bring it back up again.
That's right.
all right? So we're going to make it a later date or 12 months?
I second. Yes,
All right, so we've got a motion to bring it back up in basically a year.
All right, is that being tabled?
You can have it the way you want to. You can delay it.
You can
Or
bring it up anytime. We can agree on it.
delaying it is a form of tabling it, but it's not, it's a motion within itself. So you're fine with that.
Okay, all right.
All right, so the motion is we're going to delay it for up to a year.
Well, just, yes, review it.
Review it. Okay, got a motion and a second.
Now, comments.
Any comments?
A couple of years ago, the mayor couldn't go. I had to go to Gatlinburg, listen to the mayors. It was a hot topic at that time. They needed, everybody's working on it. And mayor says, no, it's not going to. I went to a meeting for the city. They had $184,000 to do their plan. And I was the only one that showed. Not a hot topic locally, but a total mayor situation. They were really discussing it. So
I've talked to the other mayors about it, like Summit County, they had thought, but
Right.
I didn't know nothing about this after I got in office.
Yeah.
And I talked to the city, they had with all farms and I think probably I think they're pretty well in compliance.
they are.
Yes. Still, it's gonna cost somebody to come out here, engineer and draw it up and write it up, and it's not gonna be cheap. But we have started on it, and they know that, so, yeah.
So even if they do come to us, we can say, look, we discussed this, all this came up, we were gonna move forward, and what's happened is happened.
Yeah, and their idea is, as long as we get done with it, improvements, it's just showing that you are doing a little at a time, you are trying to fix things.
Right.
The main situation is this ADA compliance situation is that there's a group of people out there that have family and children that needs this assistance. And they're going to talk about it, but that's not on their mind right now. That 19 deal is on their mind. And so because of that, they're not going to bring any fuss. So we can delay this. And if it comes back up, the mayor and his staff is doing things on it.
Yeah,
You know.
well, I mean, it don't take one person to come up that can't watch his son play a baseball game,
That's right.
and then you gotta move fast.
I appreciate the fact I was on a walker about 18 months ago. I can appreciate what people are confronted with, which I never had really absorbed it. So that,
Well, we had Billy's talking about it, one of our schools already around here.
yeah, I know when they have problems in Springfield.
The school structure's done pretty good in what they're doing. Mike Davis kind of got on it and worked fine. But we need a time when that gentleman right over there, and thanks for your work, he will be loaded to see what's going on in the county. I know you're working on it, but when it really comes down to the nitty gritty, you'll have a lot of time. You'll have to spend some time with the people who we hired to do it. Absolutely.
All right, do we want to put it back on any kind of reminder schedule? Do we want to look at it and 12 months, or how do we,
I think we ought to review it about every 4 months, quarterly or something, you know?
okay,
We could redo it every 4 months, quarterly, and bring it up and.
Yeah.
see
Instead of
where we
just-
are
Just see
financially?
where we are.
See, because a year is a long time in between. If we do it quarterly, I think it'll,
Are you gonna make that
I'll
motion?
make a motion.
Second.
All right, got a second. Any more discussion?
Question?
All right, question being called. All in favor?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's on.
All right, Mr. Bowen's got an aye. Bill Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Hogan?
Aye.
Commissioner Glover?
Aye.
And I'm aye. Motion passes 5-0. All right, Trey.
Okay, item 6, some project updates. The DMV renovations, I'll be brief on that. I think everybody's up to date. It is interesting there. I was down there the end of last week. Their furniture will not come in till early July. So, one silver lining of this coronavirus, if there is such a thing, is getting this done. We are largely done. We had sent out a spreadsheet a week or so ago, and it's in your packet tonight if you're here. The only possible other things we have left to do, number 7 on that list is, once they move everything, whatnot, get their new workstation in the big public room, they want us to strip and wax the floors. We'll do that. Joe and them's gonna go down there, and after their data people have been in and they get all that done, and maybe replace some ceiling tiles. There wouldn't be many. On the second sheet, item number 3, install electrical and lighting for relocated workstation. That's largely done, and I think they being the state's IT people are gonna do any additional wiring. So we may not have to spend anything there. We do have to buy a couple of signs. I can't imagine it running $1,000. But long story short, we estimated the project at 60,000. We've spent just under 52. We should come in at 56 or 7. And y'all budgeted 70. So unless something drastic happens, we should be in good shape on that project.
I'd just like to make a comment. Trey, I appreciate everything you've done on this. I mean, I think a lot of us, or a lot of people that aren't right in with this like we are, don't realize how much time that Trey has put into this and how much money he saved the county doing this, and I appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
I would echo that, and it just meant so much to the county taxpayers, everything he's been involved in and will be involved in, so.
And I too echo the same thing. But
Look good, Trey.
Thank you.
I don't want to forget the guy sitting beside us too.
Yeah.
He's got his hands
Yeah.
full, overloaded, and we know that. And your staff is doing a wonderful job.
Well, I appreciate it.
But Trey has come in at the right time. We needed somebody as a team effort with y'all. We appreciate your work.
But Joe's crews have been down there recently helping with that project.
Yeah.
They're involved with it too.
Well, I think you probably put 10 years on Joe's life.
Yeah.
Saved him.
Yeah, and maybe 10 more does.
Okay, the solid waste drainage project, so far, so good. I don't want to jinx us. We got a really good contractor. They've been out there a week and 1 day. They stay on the pace they are. In 2 more weeks, they'll about be done. Doing an excellent job. They're getting ready to start the next day or 2 on the big 60-inch pipes out there. And we will have to redirect some truck traffic, but it won't be an issue. And we should come in at the change order amount, probably a little bit less. We put some extra stone and riprap in there that we may not use. So that project is going really well so far. Then the Hatch roof, I talked to Mr. Weaver this morning. I've been out there. They've got the worst end of that building done, which was the gym, like a sieve in there. They got it fixed, and they got into delay because where that roof ties in with the other building and the wall and all, there's a whole lot of flashing had to be redone and replaced, and they've got that done. So they're set this week to start on the main building. And I'd say in the next 2 weeks, they'll be done with it. So they're making good progress there. I do have a couple of more projects, but I guess they might be new business, or I'll talk about them here.
Well, what about the archives? As far as
I've not heard anything.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything back from Jason, but when this COVID-19 hit, it put a shut off on everything, so, we're just waiting to,
well,
now
we
that
need
we've
to,
opened back up, I can give Jason
yeah,
a
we
call.
just need to
say, hey, we
remind
need to
him, because
revisit this.
it is leaking in there. So,
Yeah.
it's something that we definitely need to get worked on it.
How long the warranty on that work? Eric,
How long?
How long is the warranty on that work, the archive?
Archives, it was, I'd have to go back and look at the file on it,
I
but
thought it was a year.
It's usually a 1 year warranty.
it's usually a year.
Okay, okay.
We,
All right, they won't know.
we talked about that in the 2 meetings
Yeah.
ago, that it was within the year.
Right.
But this was a separate issue that Jason had brought to us before, you know, because of the way the design is, the way that staircasing and all is. But Trey and I'll give him a call now that we've opened back up, and Trey and I are gonna meet him over there. You know, that's what y'all asked for in a couple of meetings ago, and then we shut down and he couldn't get in the building, so.
Well, my thinking is though, when you go in there and look at it and you can see the water, I think it's something they've missed, something that they haven't done right.
And it
It's
could
not,
be.
I don't want them to put it back on us and say, okay, we told you should have done this.
Right.
Because I don't think that's where it's at. I think it's their workmanship, me personally. I just do. I think that we don't need to let them skate like that. You know,
Right.
we need
And-
to hold their feet to the fire.
You know, and we couldn't get them in the
Right.
building until
Exactly.
today. So I'll give Jason a call tomorrow, set up a
Okay.
time that Trey and I both can meet him over there.
Make sure that he looks in that electrical room. It was flooded when I went out there. So it was about a year ago. I mean, it had
Oh,
water
yeah.
standing in.
That was
They
that-
had to do a drainage. or something else.
Was that wasn't when the pan had rusted on that,
No,
dehumidifier, was
this
it?
was the backflow out of the wet ground back
Okay.
there. So just make sure I think we're just gonna have to do some dozer work, some drainage work, some tile work,
Okay.
and run it off.
I'm just concerned that they busted a drain pipe down there somewhere that they put in possibly.
It could be.
Could
I
be.
mean, I mean, we all went out and looked at it and it just, for what they did, we shouldn't have water in that building.
That's right.
All right. Any more old business? Huh? Any new business? All right.
Then I got one thing after.
Okay. All right.
Okay, I guess it was Friday, Mayor Vogel was over here and I met with he and, Angie Groves for just a minute, and she is wanting to put in, the mayor's wanting her to put in, and I think it's an excellent idea, a walk-up window for transactions. With what's going on and whatnot, there's the line through the drive-through with the vehicle traffic just wraps all the way down the road. So we got Springfield Glass over here this morning, and they've already responded. I just got this at 4:00, so if you're late getting it on email or whatnot, I'll send it out as soon as I got it. He's already come back with, I haven't even had time to look at it good. I'll look at this the next day or so. But this is kind of what he's proposing. It'd kind of be like a bank teller window, only it wouldn't slide out. But it kind of keeps the air. It's not like a McDonald's drive-through window where you open it up, you got the air free flowing. It's where you can get papers through there, but it kind of protects them too. Springfield Glass says, they ain't got a final price, but this would be installed under $4,000.
Where would they put it at?
Mayor, you want to help me out? There's a,
Well, Angie's on there, I think
oh,
it's a window inside it.
Angie, you want
We looked at it's about the third or fourth window from the corner of the building where my drive-through is. That we would be able to just walk over to it and serve the public. Any help will be greatly appreciated from what we went through the past 6 weeks. But this was Mayor Vogel's idea, and I think it's a fabulous idea because we could use it for years down the road. But it would just give them the access to walk up, especially if we get closed back down again, and we can use it year round for any time, even if we're not closed down, we could always still use it.
Could you do it for anything like night drop if you wanted?
If we could what?
Could you do it for anything like a night drop payment or something? Would that be fair? People came and just dropped and got mailed back to them or something?
We probably could. I don't know that we'd have a lot of people do it, but
Will that be under the overhead right there?
it'd be under the cover, yes.
Okay.
Well,
And Joe brought up a good point this morning down there that we're all going to do a little bit of sidewalk, tear out some brick.
Yeah, we just tear those out. Now they put a ramp where if somebody in a wheelchair needs to get up to it, you know, they got access to get to it. Even though they can come inside on most of the visits, but if we have to get locked down again, they can come up to that window. And it wouldn't I don't see that costing less than $1,000 to cut all that and have somebody pour that ramp.
Okay.
Would be much of it.
Yeah. This design, you know, is just for when business is open. Right? It's not like what you got at the bank.
Okay.
These, she said here today about the microphone stuff. And there's one at the bottom, one identical to them right now, and they're about $1,200 to $1,800. You might have to add that to it, unless you could get away with just the single aluminum piece that goes through the middle of the glass. And that may would work.
When the area was built, we put in a window like this. I don't remember where it came from. Between where the commissioner stayed, the defendant in the jail. And there was one of those speakers in the window when we first got it. And if I remember right, we took it out. Of course, it may be down there somewhere in that area, in the commissioner's area. I don't know. I can't remember, or the sheriff's department might have it.
They use one down there to talk to the prisoners. Like that, don't they?
Jen, I think they did, but I think
It's all telephone recorded now from prison.
Is it?
Yeah. It's on like a telehandler.
Yeah, that's right, it is. But, so anyway, there could be one of these around, and it really wasn't that much help in that,
Really?
for that, you know.
Yeah, it reminds me of going to the fair, talking to the ticket sellers.
Yeah.
Well,
That's a good one. What?
we also need to mention that we need 2 of these windows. This lady sitting in the back corner has asked, you know, they wanted a drive-through, extra drive-through. But she can put one also right there off of this big concrete padded or this brick area. And we just have to put the window in, pour a little piece of concrete down there to level it
For
off.
Kendra?
For Kendra.
It's still under the building, it's still,
It's not under, it's not have an awning over it, but
We'd have to put something over it though.
we could possibly put an awning over the top of it.
I'd almost think if you're gonna do it, you know, it's, people gonna be out in the weather, and they're gonna have paper, and
Yeah,
it's gonna be, you know, it's not near,
You know, if you've seen the one at the animal control in the building where you go in now, not the new building, at the portable, the other one, you can buy those at Lowe's for a little or nothing, those little canopies that
no, I
attach to the
haven't,
wall.
I'm not.
You can get them, they're metal roof, metal, and it ties into the building. We put those in, we put that one in and another one for somebody else, and I can't remember where it was at, but we could do something like that. Guys, can put that up.
So it'll be an area like you come off the concrete and then a wet canopy, or will it
It'll
all?
be you come up, you can look at it right there, come up to that brick paver,
Yeah,
and you'll walk straight to that window, which we have to put some kind of signage over there saying, walk up window. And then we'll put the awning and just pour a little slab of concrete between the building and the pavers. It's no big deal, don't hurry.
It's gonna be outside,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, in that area where the flagpole is.
Yeah, right there, right off, y'all could, if you wanted to stand up and look at it, you can.
yeah, we would definitely have to put some kind of covering over it.
Yeah, and the people wouldn't probably use it if it's raining,
Yeah,
but it would be there if they wanted to, you know.
All right, do we need to approve it?
Well,
Approve the
well, I just wanted to add it into both of those, so we can double whatever we're talking about spending.
I've got a question.
Okay,
before
yeah,
that goes.
so-
Does Angie have the money in her budget for this?
Now,
Is this gonna come out of your $799? Where's this coming from?
I don't know that Angie has the money.
All right, let's ask her.
Angie, you said,
Yes, sir, I'm here. Yes, I do have the money.
You don't.
okay, Kendra don't.
You handle that much money?
I will say that in the $799, What we've got left now, only thing I got coming out of it's the 3,500 where we started rekeying this building, and the 3,500 that we gotta take out of it for the skylights at the jail. Other than that, I hope we ain't gotta spend none of you know.
Trey, how much money you gonna have left on your project at that time? Department of Safety, do you know?
I feel safe saying 10,000, maybe 12 or 13,000. 10 for sure, unless something, the world have to go to hell down there.
Right there, below.
So we're looking at 8,000 to do two, plus concrete, plus awnings, right?
So probably 10,000.
Probably maybe 12,000 to be safe if you had some other
He
stuff.
says he knows he's got 10.
I know I got 10.
And then it sounds like
Something have to
Angie's
go
got
bad,
some
huh?
extra money in her budget. If
Yeah.
Push comes to shove.
Or, and I got some left on at 799. So
Do you know how much is in your 799?
after I take that other 7,000 out, it's gonna be roughly around 25 grand.
I think we've got the money to do
That's-
it.
That's where,
Major happens.
and yeah, unless, cause we spent some COVID money that come out of that 799. Jody's got me a COVID line item, so she said that sometimes they can reimburse that money back for stuff like this. But if they don't, we spent some money last week getting ready for this reopening today, so. But, you know, somewhere around 23 to 25,000.
Yeah, I think both these ladies need what they're asking for sure. I think it'll help.
After working down there Friday, I know they do.
Are you gonna work the windows some too, Billy?
I hope not.
All right.
Hey, if y'all
We've
would've
approved
seen
one.
Angie,
Okay.
you know she needs it.
No, we need to approve the second one.
All right, so, yeah,
I move it.
all right, so we got a motion and a second to approve a second one of these windows. Any more discussion?
Question.
Question being called. Commissioner Glover,
Aye.
Commissioner Hogan,
Aye.
Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Bowens,
Yes.
and I'm an aye, so motion passes 5-0 for
Let me
both.
just say, after working down there Friday, a lot of people are still scared about coming in this building. They really are. They're very hesitant.
And really and truly, if we go on and do this, that's gonna limit our people. I mean, we're not, it's gonna help us, you know. I think it'll be a good thing. All right, Trey, what you got?
I promise this is the last item. In regards to that, y'all had me look at a few months ago, expanding the drive-through windows down there. For Angie adding another one and for Kendra adding one. I made some progress on there. I got a contact from Tim Chowning out at F&M Bank of a company out of Clarksville that can come look at that. With all that's going on, do I pursue that? It doesn't cost anything to get a cost estimate and whatnot. Is that something y'all want to look at? Also, to price a budget of what it would cost to expand and put some more drive-through windows in.
Well, let us know where we're at least.
Well, should we look at that before we finalize these other windows? Ain't it gonna be,
I don't. I think they're independent of each other. I think there's gonna be more business, like the mayor said, people walk up or drive through and come in. Might be the model for the future. But I mean, whatever y'all direct me to do, I'll be glad to do.
The issue that I see with all this is the state comptroller, I've been on a conference call with him, we're not supposed to have any new spending on stuff like this. And yet, here we are, just spending. So, just please keep all that in mind as you vote on this.
okay.
Well, if we have the extra money out of the other,
You're saying what the state comptroller said.
right.
It don't cost nothing to get a price. Right.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that's
Well,
what,
but now, we've already approved the
I
other.
know, and I was gonna kind of say that, we gotta kind of be careful what else we
Okay,
spend.
all right.
I mean, we've gotta do right by the state comptroller.
But I read the letter today from Charlie, from the head of the commission body. And he said, be conservative on your budget for the upcoming year. Y'all are fighting it right now, but if this economy turns around, you can always make changes both ways in the structure. So I still want us to keep an open mind on some of these things like this and not get hammered down like I can't do anything because of the disease.
Well, that's why I didn't
But-
say anything on the other one, but I think we gotta,
But Charlie said, he said,
Well,
you,
why don't we get a price and then,
we'll take it after.
yeah.
yeah, and I'd like to see us just catch back on this about after the first of the year. Now, maybe
Well-
still get a price, but
all right, well, let's include that. give it, tell him how long he's got to get his,
I guess just however long it takes him to get his info. I mean,
well,
3 days.
3 days.
I move we let Trey look into the drive-through windows, both for Angie and this lady back here.
Okay,
and report back to
And report back when he gets figures. No time.
that'll work. All
You
right.
do remember now, whatever price they give you is gonna be null and void after 90 days. So,
Yeah, but
you
you
want-
ballpark.
We're just,
Maybe
we're
not.
just gonna
in
have
the
a budget,
ballpark, or you
budget's all.
right, okay.
So you have an idea.
All right. Do we need a motion on that, or we
That
just?
was my motion,
Okay, so we
to
got.
let him look into it.
All right, we got a
Give
motion.
him the authority.
Need a second?
I want to amend it, I want to put a time on it, so I'd like to say 90 days.
Mr. Chairman, I have no problem with Commissioner Glover wanting to put a time limit on that. I will change my motion accordingly and put stipulation of report back to us within 90 days.
All right.
Second.
Lee,
Yes.
did you get all that? Okay.
So we got a motion by Commissioner Hogan, a second by Commissioner Glover. Any more discussion?
Question.
Question being called. All in favor? Bill Moore?
Aye.
Mr. Bowens?
Yes.
Mr. Hogan?
Yes.
Mr. Glover?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. Motion moves. 5-0. All right. You got anything else? All right, Joe, you had one thing?
Yeah, I talked with the mayor on this. This is just something I need to get some guidance on or discuss it with you guys. It's my housekeeping department. I got some judges that think that I need to send them over there and work for them. You know, we only got one lady over here and one lady over at the big court that work full-time in housekeeping. I kind of tried to explain that to him today, and you know, I could be under contempt of the Supreme Court. And I said, I don't work for the Supreme Court. I work for the Robertson County government, and we follow state guidelines. I cannot send anybody that I don't have. I got a position open. I can't find anybody that wants a job. You cannot find anybody that wants that pay to work for $13.43 an hour, when they can go right out here to Kroger's or Walmart and make 20.
Well, I called Walmart, Joe. That man said nobody starts less more than 11.
Well, they should take it out of the paper. They've been running ads in the paper for $20 an hour for stockers. I
Hey,
know
I'm trying hard. We put it on our website. Sure, there's somebody that's willing to disinfect.
Oh, you
I know.
can get, I'm needing a floor guy. That's where your COVID-19 comes into this building, is on your shoes. The flooring guy left the last day of February. We put it out there on the site. We put it on the bulletin boards. Nobody's even come close to calling me about it. I've talked to people. I've thrown it out there. I don't know. I can't make them come to work.
Floors is a hard job.
Yeah, it's a hard job, especially for $13.43
So are you
an
talking
hour.
about how often to do the floors? I mean,
It takes one full-time guy to do this building, the archives, the UT extension, and the big courthouse. That's all that guy would be doing. The rest of the people take care of their own. They got a contract service. But now, if we can go contract service, but we're gonna have to jump that budget way on up there. These guys don't do this stuff cheap on contract service.
Which judge were you talking to?
Judge Joel Perry. And I told Joel, I said, I haven't got the manpower to work for the courts.
Let me tell you, I've had a little problem. I told him that Joe needs to know their schedules, so he can go in there and do the spraying that he's gotta do. Well, they want him to come in at night, and it's gonna take overtime to do
Yes, it is.
it. Now, they also want it wiped down or something, if they take a dinner break. You want somebody to go in there and wipe stuff down. But they wouldn't tell me their schedules. And I talked to one of them, I said, look,
Now,
I-
you talking to Joel?
Yes, I got Joel
Yeah,
send
I
me
mean,
the schedule right before I come
hey,
here.
I called Lisa, and I said, Lisa, I need help. She said that Joel sent them her schedule, she couldn't even read it. I told Lisa, I said, Lisa, I put gas in somebody's car, but you gotta tell me when it's empty. Now, you
Well,
tell me,
okay, that's what I want the detail.
Well, now,
Do I need to go talk to the?
no,
Judge
Donna's
Perry?
come up with a schedule at 4 o'clock, what she's gonna do next week.
Okay,
And he's taking it out. He didn't mention anything about going to recess at lunch for us to come in there and clean it. He just said at the end of on Monday, May the 11th, General Sessions Court will resume hearings. And at the end of the day, they want us to come in there and clean it. At the end of the day. The only problem we got here, my guys are 8 to 4:30 that go in and do the spraying. He's gotta be out there at 4:30 because I can't afford to pay them overtime, $30 an hour guys overtime to sit and wait on the judge to get off the bench.
well, we'll make it plain to him.
Yeah, I'm gonna, he wanted me to put something in writing, so I'm gonna put it in writing that my guys will be there at 4:30
Okay,
to spray it down, cause they first wanted to spray themselves. Well, we just sent them a copy of the MSDS and I'm not giving it to them, because it can be dangerous. They said you need to have masks, gloves, Tyvek suits to spray this stuff. It takes it about an hour to dry once we spray it, but it does kill the COVID-19, the coronavirus.
okay.
But all I can do is send him a thing back, say my guys work from 8 to 4:30 and I will have them there at 4:30.
I'll tell you what you do. You get it together, you call me, and I'm gonna come get it, and I'm gonna hand deliver it to him.
Okay?
See,
Yeah.
I went to Chancery too. I said, can y'all give me your schedule so Joe know when he needs to come in here after you're done with the courtroom? They told me they couldn't. They just said, hey, we can't tell you when we're gonna do it. I said, well, can you call me that day before you do it? And then I can tell Joe, but they sitting there like, man, we don't know when they're gonna use it.
Were you talking to Rosemary?
Talked to Tammy back here. And then, but she did say she would call me. And then Judge Goodman come in there and asked me, did I have a spraying routine? And I said, I told him this morning, I said, when y'all tell me your schedules, I can figure it out.
Okay.
But Lisa acted like she would work with it.
Joe, y'all spray it down after every
You know,
courtroom?
Well, I mean,
We will.
My message to everybody is,
If
we're
that's
all
what
having to
this
do a little more than we're supposed to
oversight
because of
committee
COVID-19.
That's just what I'm
And they don't
wondering.
need to saying I can't do it because you ain't never done it before. I mean, let's just do it and do what we gotta do.
Well, I agree, and I think, Bill Goodman will lead us through circuit court, and we just need.
Well, in Mrs. Judge Ayers' letter to me, she said that all courts are supposed to schedule together about these courtrooms. And that's I got that piece of paper.
Well, did you talk to Bill this morning?
Me and Bill's talked. I think me and Bill can work it out.
Well, I think you can too.
I know, I haven't talked to Joel Perry. After Joe talked to him, I thought it'd be best I let that cool a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, I mean.
Evidently, that
do you
conversation
have-
didn't go very
Do you
good.
have any problem with me going to talk?
Sticking with me.
No, but Donna has done what I've asked her to do now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it took.
Well, do I need to get involved or not? I mean, I'm not.
I can send Joel back, and if he don't like that, then I'll let you get
All right,
involved with it.
Okay.
I can send him back what we're gonna do.
I think,
I think he gets himself taken care of. I think you need to get involved personally.
Okay.
We need to make a motion. I'll
Well,
make
I
a
mean,
motion.
I tell him that we've come up with a schedule based on the
You
information.
throw a
Bill provided.
fastball pitcher right at the
I mean,
beginning.
that's the bottom line.
Don't
Well, they need
curveballs.
to realize that we don't have all that overtime budget.
No, we don't, and it's gonna take not very long for my guys to eat up at $4,000
No,
that's in that
it sure
budget.
won't, I understand.
And this could go on for a long time, guys, this COVID-19.
Well,
I think it's gonna go to spring.
It could
It's not
actually.
gonna get over with, y'all. We're gonna have that disease around. We're just gonna manage it, okay? And life is gonna be better.
When they talk about spraying, do y'all go in there and fog it or something?
We
or-
just take backpack sprayers and you spray everything down, backing out as you're spraying.
They got costumes on there.
And-
They don't
it-
make something you can sit there and pull the plug and run out the room and it
I wish
falls.
they did.
One of them bombs like it sprays for fleas.
Yeah, you can get them. They make them, but
Yeah.
we can't get them.
Oh.
We're having problems getting Lysol.
Okay.
But this spray, it absolutely kills the virus. You don't have to wipe it down. you just go in there and spray it, and you leave it 3 minutes, everything in it's dead.
This thing when, and hand deliver it. or
Y'all do that
Joe-
once a
Joe-
day
If him and
You
Joe
have to
keep
do it-
bumping heads, I don't care if you.
or after every court
Right
case?
now,
All right.
it is like.
It's after every court,
I think
every
I get a
case
switch
he
out,
has,
switch
we
it.
gotta go in and spray it. But I got maintenance
Don't feel like-
issues. This is what I
Had
wanna
been
get
school mom.
to talk to y'all about.
You know what I mean?
Housekeeping is taking 70 to 90% of our
You
time.
know, we have.
We
good-
don't do very
we
little
have good
maintenance, are we taking care of?
communication. I don't have to.
And-
Robert, Joe will be all right.
We've got 2 part-time.
Well, I know he's probably getting some pressure.
One comes in the afternoon,
Well-
one in the morning.
Hey, fellas.
That's what,
And then
that's,
there's only one at a time.
I'm talking about
Yeah.
maybe somewhere else.
well,
You know what I'm talking
I
about.
know, but,
All right,
you know, you just, okay, Joe, I'm back.
I'll type it up and get it to you.
Okay, just call me and I'll come
But
back.
hey, my message to everybody is, sure, we're doing stuff we ain't never done before, but that don't mean we can't do it and work together.
But my message is, we got 1 million square foot we have to take care of, maintenance and housekeeping wise, and I can't work for one department. It's not a one department thing, it's a whole bunch of departments in this building and then the buildings that we have. But it seems to be that the courts want us strictly 100%. He asked me to have them go down and clean the judicial commissioner's office twice much as we're doing it now. He's doing it twice a week. He wants it every day, every week. And why can't some of these commissioners clean up after themselves a little
I went
bit?
and bought me a sprayer today.
So, you know,
I don't trust you.
I get frustrated with housekeeping for 2 reasons. One, I was sitting in this room right here 4 or 5 years ago, and they throwed it in my lap. I'm not a housekeeper. I didn't go to school to be a housekeeper. I went to school to be a maintenance guy. That's my forte is maintenance. Housekeeping? You asked me to buff that floor? I said, you might well fire me because I don't know how. I don't know how to strip and wax and buff floors. I don't do housekeeping. I'm trying to manage it the best way I can, but I'm telling you, you got a high dollar housekeeping manager, then that's all we've been doing. Sean and I both, 70% to 90% of the time, we're working on housekeeping. And the complaints that are coming in about housekeeping. So, if y'all can see fit to give it to somebody else, give it to them. I'll be glad for them to have it. And one more thing, and I'll shut up, I promise. We talking about the raises for the frontline people. Right there is your frontline people. They're going in cleaning up COVID-19. They ain't just walking around it. They're cleaning it up. So, if anybody deserves a raise, I think it ought to be housekeeping. Somebody that's fighting it and facing it every day. All right, y'all made me feel better,
think
folks.
raises are out this year, ain't they?
Except for the ones that can fund it themselves. Sheriff's Department's gonna fund his own.
Well, you know, I know we used to have somebody over housekeeping, they done away with it.
Yeah, and that's when they give it to me. None of you guys was involved in that. I don't think you was even on this committee then. But
Well, they made a bad hire. Before they dump it on me, I'll tell you, they made a bad hire.
All right, we got anything else?
no, I will get with Burton on that schedule for Joel.
Nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So moved. Motion to adjourn.